We are in Tarbes, the start town of stage 14 of this year's Tour de France, and it's arguably going to be one of the most important in this year's race, as it finishes up the iconic Col du Tourmalet for only the third time in its history. Luckily, I'm joined by award-winning author and cycling journalist Pete Cousins, also Pyrenean local. So,
Indeed, yeah.
Pete, what do we have in store for today's ride?
Well, we start here in Tarbes. I mean, you probably can't see on the film, but the mountains are up behind us there. But before we go that way, we kind of loop out to the west towards Pau, then turn south over the Col du Soulor, and then finally, after dropping down into Argelès-Gazost, we then do the long climb up to the summit finish on the Col du Tourmalet.
And luckily we have two very slick bikes to take us on our way. So I am riding the Ribble Endurance SL, and Pete, you have the Ribble Endurance SLR. And luckily we've been put up the last few days by Le Cloisier B&B in Le Baf-de-Ness, which is an excellent cycling B&B just down the road and next to a ton of cols within the area, and the perfect Pyrenean cycling destination. Without further ado, should we
Hit the road.
hit the road? Tourmalet awaits.
Indeed.
This is the Ribble Endurance SLR, which comes fitted with Shimano's flagship group set. And when this is combined with Ribble's lightest endurance SLR carbon frame set, the result is the perfect combination of performance within an ultra lightweight bike. Add to this the stopping power of the hydraulic disc brakes will give maximum braking efficiency. It should be the perfect weapon for us to conquer the climbs and descents today. So we've just rolled out of Tarbes and gone through the small town of Ibos, which is the official start point of stage 14, and where the flag will drop and a lot of riders will probably send it off the front.
Yeah, there'll be guys who the time trial will have taken place the day before. They'll have lost a bit of time, they'll want to recoup it. This is the first chance to do so. They'll want to make an impact, show that they're in the race, shake things up a little bit. Should be an interesting start to the stage.
Indeed, indeed. Pretty windy today, which may actually cause a few splits early on if people decide to go hell for leather. I highly doubt that will affect the stage result, but it will certainly burn a few matches before even the first climb of the day.
Yeah, it's gusting really strongly actually today. And we were hoping that when we get further into the stage, that'll mean we'll get a bit of a tailwind when we're going up the Soulor and the Tourmalet. Fingers crossed.
So we just hit 18 kilometers of the stage, and we've hit the first categorized climb of the Côte de la Batmal, category 4, 1.4 kilometers long, average 6.7%. The roads to this point so far, the brake may not have actually gone by this point because it's quite twisty through a lot of little villages, narrow roads, and this is another launch pad potentially for the breakaway.
Yeah, you can imagine them coming steaming into this village, flying up here, guys going off the front. The GC guys won't be too bothered about chasing probably. So yeah, good chance for the brake to get away.
So yeah, this is the first of 3 categorized climbs today. And with only being a category 4, it's kind of a canopy to the 2 main courses we've got coming up later of the Col du Soulor and of course, Col du Tourmalet.
Yeah, very much in a amuse-bouche. We can see we've gone onto a bit of a landing in the middle of the climb here, flattened out a little bit. It's going to climb again just over the top, and then from there we'll just roll cross country. The road's turning directly into the mountains. We're kind of running west at the moment, but we'll turn directly into the mountains and head towards the Col du Soulor.
Yeah, and they just loom large ahead of you, don't they? You can see them pretty much from anywhere in the area, but once you turn south, it's just a wall of the Pyrenees.
Completely dominates the skyline. Yeah, it's hugely impressive.
We're now 48 kilometers into the stage. We've just rolled down the D126 to the town of Ferrières, which is the start of the Category 1 Col du Soulor. And yeah, it's started to rise a long way before this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been coming up through this really tight little, absolutely beautiful valley actually for quite a few kilometres. Not steeply, but gradually climbing. It's just flattened out a little bit here, and then I think it's going to kick up quite a bit.
Hopping over the river.
Yeah.
Kind of really narrow, tight roads. So if anyone's going to get into position for this point, they're going to have to make sure they're fighting to get to the front if anyone's going to do a long range attack from here. We're about 1.5 kilometers into the Col du Soulor, and those first few ramps were particularly nasty, way above the average, I'd say. Yeah, they're a pretty savage start, and a bit like the Tourmalet that we'll come through in a bit as well. Just straight into the action. Straight into it. I have to say one thing about this climb, it is absolutely beautiful coming up here. You can see the peaks laid out ahead of you. Really lovely road winding up through this thick woodland. Really is spectacular. A typical Pyrenean climb this, the Soulor. We've got almost constant changes in gradient. Even within a kilometre you might get an average of 7.5%. Suddenly you're climbing at 11, then you get into a flat bit. Yes, always be wary of the average gradient, the misleading average gradient. This is also first categorised, big categorised climb today. Went on to the Category 4. Sprinters would have made over that okay. Yeah. But as soon as they've hit the Col du Soulor, it's a case of survival to the end, and they would have been spat out pretty much where we would have been spat out as well, but they probably would have maintained a stronger pace. So yeah, it's just a case of getting up here, getting down the other side and onto the Tourmalet. Yeah, a hard day for those guys, because with these short mountain stages, especially with the kind of backloaded with all the key climbs at the back end, they're going to struggle to get inside the time limit, because the GC guys are going to be riding quick towards the finish. So they've really got to take advantage of stay in until the bottom of this climb, stay in the peloton if they can, or close, and then take advantage of the descent off the Soulor to make up some ground. But yeah, the Soulor Tourmalet double, they're actually repeating what they did in 2010 when Schleck and Contador rode up to the summit of the Tourmalet and battled out in the fog. And Schleck getting the better on the stage that day, Contador taking yellow overall. So, made it, top of the Col du Soulor. As you can see, 1,474 metres up, and that's going to thin a lot of people out, I think. Just those pitches and gradients is going to really... Just constantly changing. I mean, the last bit we've come up is not too bad, but lots of pitches before that are hard, 10% for quite a long time, switches back down again, just constant changes all the way. Yeah, and now we've got another 600 metres to the top of the Tourmalet, but first we've got to descend down into the valley. So we're in the final running now to the Col du Tourmalet. We've dropped off the Col du Soulor in long descent down into the valley. I mean, like you say, long descent, 20k, you kind of come off the Soulor, drop down, flattens out, and then it goes down again into Argelès. Lovely little town. Who would be a favourite then, Paul, for this for stage win today? Well, given where it is in the race, obviously it's the day after the time trial. They would have already had a team time trial earlier on, and riders going to have to make up time. I think a rider like Nairo Quintana will have to try and make a move and try and win the stage to claw back time, and We saw him do it last year on the Col du Tourmalet stage. They kind of let him have a free rein. I mean, I don't know if he'll have a free rein this year, depends on where he is in the race, but it could well be a stage suited for him at altitude. But how about yourself? Have you got any?
I think you've got the right
tips?
nation. I think you've got the right nation, but the wrong rider.
Okay.
I think Egan Bernal, if given the news about Chris Froome that he won't be riding the Tour, I just feel that if he is going to win the Tour, he's got to show on stages like this.
Put his marker down, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
We're just on the outskirts of Luz-Saint-Sever, the start of the western side of the Col du Tourmalet, and it's quite a sharp rise through already. Even though the climb starts here-ish, I feel like we've already done a couple of 100 metres descending.
You come into Luz and already there's right in the middle of the town, it just goes straight up a ramp of like 10-12% to, I wouldn't say get your legs warmed up, just kind of give you a bit of pummeling.
Wake them up, definitely. And yeah, I mean, we'll see probably riders go off once again from this point. Maybe we'll see like trains forming at the front of the race, and it could well start from here on in. This is obviously the crunch point.
Whoever does come in first to the GC contenders is going to lay down a big marker on the yellow jersey today.
Yeah, for sure. And I suppose we better go and tackle it ourselves.
Lay down our own marker.
Yeah, lay a low marker. I'm assuming it will be. But yeah, let's go on with it. Now this isn't specifically for stage 14 itself, but it's quite a significant point on the climb where the road forks off here. You can either choose to go up the right side of the valley, or where the pros will go this year, carrying along the new road. But there is good reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah, the road got washed away, the old road got washed away in 2013. And so it's now just a bike-only path. And you can see they've named it here in tribute to Laurent Fignon, the two-time Tour winner. He had a hotel on the other side of the Pyrenees, or the other side of the Tourmalet rather, at Bagnères de Bigorre, and obviously had some of his greatest triumphs in the Pyrenees when he was in his heyday. So it's a really nice tribute to the Frenchman.
So we're unfortunately gonna have to deal with the traffic and carry on up the pros route, and we're over halfway now, so fingers crossed.
We're getting there.
It goes a bit quicker than the first half has. So we're about 3k from the summit. Unfortunately, I've been reliably informed by the Pyrenean master next to me that this is probably the hardest 3k of the climb so far.
Yeah, we're coming up, we're just coming up to the 3 kilometres to go mark here. It's just around the next bend. And we've still got 300 metres of vertical ascent, so you can work that out for yourself. It's a pretty easy one.
I don't want to, but yes.
Obviously we're getting up towards 2,000 metres. You'd think now at this point, this is where the mountain goats, the little Colombians, the little Spaniards, perhaps even Romain Bardet and Thibaut Pinot will start looking for opportunities to attack, trying to put pressure on. Just got a glimpse of the telecoms mast up on the Pic de Midi, but that's disappeared into the cloud again. But it's absolutely gorgeous looking back down. I mean, this is one of the classic views of the Tourmalet, the road weaving back down into the valley. Thankfully, we can see it all.
Yeah,
it's absolutely stunning.
It's quite satisfying looking back down and where you've come from and knowing you don't have to ride up it again. just above us. You can see the souvenir shop.
You can, I don't know whether you, well, you probably can see now the clouds coming down.
Temperatures dropping.
There's an element of Schleck Contador about this finish. Not about the speed that we're doing it, obviously.
I think you're Schleck and Contador. So let's talk about the stage as a whole. What are your thoughts on it, Pete?
We've got two great climbs in the Soulor and obviously the summit finish on the Tourmalet. It's short, it's going to be very fast.
Fireworks.
It's going to be fireworks, yeah. Of course, the one thing to remember about this stage, it's going to be the 86 finish, 87 finish on the top of the Col du Tourmalet, or crossing of the Col du Tourmalet, or appearance of the Col du Tourmalet.
And of course, after the Pyrenees, we've got the Alps. The race is not decided here. It's a long way to Paris still, and yeah, you could get glory on the Tourmalet, but it does not mean the yellow jersey will be yours on the Champs-Élysées.
No, that's right. It's the second of 5 summit finishes in this race. Only the first time though that the race goes above 2,000 metres. It does that on another 7 occasions in the Alps. So even if somebody has seemingly got the yellow jersey in their pocket by the end of this stage, there's a hell of a lot of racing still to go. I can see the souvenir shop.
I can see a building. I can see, oh, it's probably the first time I've smiled for about 2 hours.
Chapeau.
Oh, chapeau indeed. Oh.
Jacques Godet, we salute you.
And there you go. First one over the finish line. Oh. Well done, man. Fantastic stuff. That is stage 14 in the books for us, and that was a pretty epic ride, wasn't it?
It was a great ride, but yeah, it was an epic ride. Yeah,
yeah, and the fog has closed in now, and the sunshine we've been enjoying all day long. I'm now getting quite chilly up here, and yeah, it's almost reminiscent of the last time they came up here, but it's going to be an absolute explosive day of racing, and I can't wait to see it all unfold. But I think we deserve a good dinner and probably an alcoholic beverage or two to congratulate your stunning ride today and commiserate my hanging onto your wheel. And
I'll take that.
Yeah, but no, thank you once again for guiding me through stage 14, and yeah, we hope you've enjoyed our stage 14 recon of this year's Tour de France stage, and do remember to like, share and comment who you think is going to win the stage this year, and don't forget to subscribe to the Cycling Weekly YouTube channel. But until then, enjoy the racing and we'll see you next time.
Something in the road. A creature in the road. Like a black panther.
Where is that?
The dog just lying in the middle of the road.
In the shade.
Stop
He's
moving.
mugging you off.